I'm going to drill a hole in my boat for YouTube. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to break the drill bit first. This is why you wear safety glasses. I've actually done this before where I broke the drill bit in the middle of a hole saw or a hole driver or whatever you call this thing. It's easy to replace. There's an Allen key right here and you just loosen it, take the old one out, put a new one back in. Alright, let's see if this works. There we go. Nice hole. And boy, does this, whatever this covering is, stinks pretty bad when you heat it up. Now, I bet you're wondering why I'm doing this. It's to put a light here, or at least a light connector, and then I can use my YoloTek power pole, or whatever this thing's called, and I can mount my camera or a GoPro right here to record the back of the boat. YoloTek Powerstick. I bought this on Amazon, so if you want an Amazon associate link to this stick, let me know and I'll give it to you in the comments below. Now, this is normally made for either your anchor light in the back or the navigation lights on the front. You put it up there and then record yourself fishing, put it back here, record yourself fishing. I've seen people put these in the back on the anchor light and put a 360-degree camera on it so you can like see a unique view of the back of the boat. Now, I don't have a 360-degree camera, so I am putting it right here in the middle of the boat so I can film the back of the boat or the front of the boat. This is going to be a different angle than what I normally do on my boats. I usually try to keep it in the middle somehow. However, there's a bunch of foam around this, and this is fiberglass. There's really limited access to this part of the boat to be able to make it more center. There's actually limited foam in this channel, and the power is like right here. So this will be easy to put wiring in. And because this is hooked up to power, I can hook it to whatever I'm filming with and get more time to film with whatever I'm filming with. And hopefully it won't be a GoPro in the future, because a GoPro on this will overheat. However, I do have a GoPro Hero 11 to play around with right now. And I might try filming with that before anything else. I will try this better camera as well. However, it might be too heavy for this. We will have to see. Alright, I've run into my first problem. This does not have a positive or a negative. And I understand why. It's a light. I think you can basically wire a light backwards and it will still turn on. However, we're dealing with actual power going to USB cables, going to an actual camera. And I don't know what pin is positive or negative on here. Thankfully, I have the cell phone number of the YoloTek guy. So I've texted him and called him, and I'm waiting on a reply to find out what is positive and negative. And when I figure that out, I will put it in here. It only goes in one way. So I can't like force it backwards. It goes in like that. Let's put it backwards here. And no, it won't go in backwards at all. So it only goes in one way. It's in there pretty tight. I just have to know which pin is positive and negative to put my wires together. Alright, I went to the store and got a chrome base, and lo and behold, it has positive and negative on it. Red and black. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect it to my old wire here, and then I'm going to put it in the hole, and then lock it down with some screws that I got from Academy. At least I hope these will fit. And a little kind of hardware kit. I also bought this cool little net I saw they had. And I think I'm going to use this in combination with this for my sinkers. And I should be able to put dragging sinkers in here as well. But this is going to be put on later. I'm going to focus on getting this in. And it's going to be like that. So it's actually going to come out in an angle, which will be a little bit further away from the back of the boat, which is good. And I'm definitely not going to bore you guys with putting the wires together. And they're different sized wires. So this is going to be fun getting these together properly. So I'm going to have to do some work to get them together. I might use this. I don't know. I got this on Amazon. These things you heat up. They've got a piece of lead in there. And that lead will melt over your wire, making it like soldering it together. But I don't know yet. I just got to look at all that I have and figure out how I'm going to do this. Alright, I got my awesome wiring job here. Now I need to feed this wire through this hole to underneath my console. I might be able to get away with just pushing it by hand. If not, I do have a fish, which I'm probably going to need to use for the back of the boat. As a quick side note, I put my nav light on it and found out that I have to have the negative on the positive and the positive on the negative for this light to work. So I'm creating more questions than answers at the moment. I'm definitely not going to get this finished tonight. Hey, I can fit my hand in the cup holder hole. Try to feed it down there. Probably be better off in the boat. There we go. Wire in the boat. Now I'm going to go ahead and mount this, and then I'll deal with my power dilemma a little bit later. Now this hardware kit didn't really come with self-tapping screws. Although it does say tapping hardware kit, it's just a point. So I'm going to have to drill a couple of small holes, and then I can drill these in. And then lose a screw in my hull. This is real simple stuff, so I'm skipping to the end here for this. Alright, here's the power stick mounted. And I've noticed that it is a little bit loose. I may have to put some electrical tape on it or something to strengthen it up. But this going in there, it's plugging in, but it is loose as a goose. So I do have some more work to do. And I have to figure out how I'm going to wire it. I don't know if I'm going to put a fuse block in here, or if I'm just going to do a switch and send a wire to the back battery. I don't know yet. It'll probably take me a couple of days to think on this, but for you guys, it should be pretty instant to what I'm going to do. Alright, I might actually have to rewire this whole thing. So for now, I am going to take this wire I just got from West Marine, and I'm going to fish it from the back of the boat to my console, so I can have some kind of power going from my battery at least to the console area. And then from there, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Now when I do fish this through, I'm going to attach some line to it as well, so I can have a string going through there. I think my dealership used the string that was in there by Excel to put my fish finder into the boat. I looked and looked and didn't see the end of any of these lines. So thankfully I have this fish that I can put through the hose here, tie the line to and the string and pull it back through the system. At least I hope it's going to be that easy. I don't know. And it's rusting a little bit. I got rust on my hands. I may actually have to recruit help for this too, because the pipe in this is kind of an oddball. So I might need somebody to get on this side while I push it through on that side. This is probably the hardest part of this entire process. Alright, I got the wire snaked through the boat. I've got a fusible link. I have a 5 amp fuse in here. I hope that's good enough. If you don't think it's good enough, if I should go down to a 3 or go up to a 10, let me know in the comments below. But this is ready to hook up to the battery. I'm going to wait to hook it up to the battery until I figure out what I'm going to do with the other side of this wire. I will say that 10 foot of wire is not enough wire to go through the tunnel here on an Excel Catfish Pro 21. So keep that in mind if you have a boat like this. What I had to do was get some more wire and tie it in to that wire and pull it a little bit into the boat. It should work. I've never really had any issues with my electrical connections. However, that is just yet another point of possible failure in the future. For now, I'll cross my fingers and hope it'll be okay. Now I have to start getting ready for a guided trip, so I'm going to put this on pause for a few days and then come back to it to finish it. I've actually got a different plug coming in the mail. It's different than the one I've got up there, which is like this one. The one that I have coming in the mail screws into the plug, and it might be just a little bit more stable than that one. I guess we'll find out here in an instant. Alright, here's the Perco plug that was recommended by the YoloTek guy for aluminum boats if you're going to put in a solo plug for just the Powerstick. This is the Perco Teardrop 1048, and it came with this nice instruction paper with a diagram for where you can drill your holes, which I've already drilled holes, so I'm going to be drilling more holes in the boat unless this lines up with the generic one that I put in there. Now I can already tell this Perco plug is pretty solid. The plastic sheath does not move at all, unlike that other type of plug. And you can screw in a collar on this, so I'm going to have to add the proper collar to the Powerstick. This collar that came with it, with the Powerstick. So that will hold it in place. It will still sway a little bit because it's just a monopod, but it will work for what I'm doing. Action cameras do have stability, and this camera does have a stability setting. I will have to see how well it works on the Powerstick. Another cool thing is, this came with the bolts needed to put it into the boat. So, not bad. Now the YoloTek guy did tell me that this can switch polarity, which is kind of understandable since I found that navigation light had reverse polarity on it. He has a chip in it that can detect that, which is a really good thing. Now I'm going to wire this just direct to the battery right now. However, I did use 12 gauge wire from the back of the boat to the console, so I could put a fuse block in the future in my console. I would definitely need a fuse block if I run wire to the front for some lights. That is, if there's not already a wire up there. I know on my old G3 they had pre-wired a 12 volt wire up to the front of the boat just in case you wanted lights or a fish finder. I don't know if Excel does that. Now if I do put a fuse block here, I will need to put a bigger fuse in the back. Thankfully, all of that wire is the same size, so I could probably put a 20 amp fuse on it. And then put smaller fuses in the fuse block. Now I'm going to play switcheroo with everything and then take this out on the water and test it. Probably not tonight, and hopefully will be tomorrow if it doesn't rain. For you guys, it's just in another quick instant. Okay. I have to take the boat to the dealership, or at least get it ready to go to the dealership. So I'm going to test this here on the trailer at my garage. I've got the GoPro on the mount, and it's on the standard stability setting. It's the lowest setting that's above off. And even as I'm walking around here, I can see the GoPro physically moving. And you guys can probably see my rods physically moving as well. But this is the new view of the back of my boat if I decide to, use this YoloTek mount. I just have to see what this footage looks like. And I think the camera might be a little sideways. So I'm going to adjust the GoPro a little bit, and then I'm going to put it on active stability to see what it looks like filming. And you guys will get to see that too. All right, this stability is called boost. I do know that if I leave this on all the time, it will eat through the battery quickly. And in bright sun like this, it will also make the camera overheat. It's one of the problems that GoPros have, is overheating. That's why I still think the GoPro Hero 8 is probably the best GoPro there is. Don't mind the rush hour traffic in the background. But as I'm walking around here, things are bouncing around. Rods are bouncing, boats bouncing, cameras bouncing. I guess I get to see in post when I'm editing which one I like the best and which one I'm going to have to film with. I don't think I'm going to use the big camera with it. I don't think it's stable enough for the big camera. So it's going to be action cameras from this angle. But there is one more mode that is new to the Hero 11. It's called Active Boost. And I think it goes based on what's happening for how much it does stabilize the video stuff. Sorry about the techno babble. All right. Here is what they call auto boost. And like earlier, I'm walking around. You can see the rods are bouncing, the boat's bouncing, the camera is bouncing. I forgot to put this up to see what it looked like if I leave that up. Probably can't see my feet. And I'll catch a fish, reel it in. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. I think it's probably going to work out. Hopefully as soon as it starts cooling off. It's hot right now, so I probably got about 2 to 3 more minutes to talk to you guys about this setup. Now I've already tested the power. I put my anchor light in there and it worked. So there is power going to it. I don't have power going to the camera because that's a no-no right now. It would definitely overheat like 2 minutes ago if I had done that. I will say this, there is a rumor that DJI is going to have a DJI Action 4 coming out that's supposed to be as good, if not better, than the Action 3 and possibly the GoPro. It's supposed to have like a bigger sensor, which is better in low light. I like filming at night, and I've noticed, or as you guys saw, a full frame camera does amazing at nighttime. Well, these GoPros, they don't record good at night. And sometimes you just have to night fish for catfish. And the DJI Action 3 did have issues where the image was just fuzzy on the videos. And that was because someone at the factory didn't twist down the lens far enough. And from what I've seen in the past with DJI, if they want to make something better because of a faulty previous product, they go well above and beyond on that next product. They did that with one of their drones, and it went from a really bad drone to just something absolutely amazing. So I'm hoping the DJI Action 4 will be absolutely amazing. Then I can finally ditch GoPro, and I'll probably ditch Sony too, because I've had some issues with Sony, both with the camera and with their repair service. I really do wish Sony had continued with their action camera lineup. However, they dropped the ball. Anyway, I really hope this is a good addition to this boat. We will see. Maybe I'll catch a 100-pound catfish on this camera setup. Or it will overheat while I'm fighting the fish. Who knows? It's not going to stop me from trying to catch that 100-pound catfish. Now, as always, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to actually watch this video. I really, really appreciate it. And if you do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up to show the YouTube algorithm that these type of videos are worth sharing for my channel. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you next time.